Hello, this is Toshi Shimada, music director and conductor of the Eastern Connecticut Symphony Orchestra. It's great time coming up. We have a wonderful concert on January 25th at the Garde Art Center at 7:30 p.m. We are featuring two of the wonderful Mozart pieces, and one of it's going to be Oboe Concerto, very special piece. And here we have our soloist, our principal oboist, Erik Andrusyak. Hi,
Hello,
Erik.
hello. Hello, Toshi. How's it going?
Great, great. I'm really looking forward to do this piece because I have really only accompanied this piece only once in my lifetime. And I've done flute concerto, which is we talk about it later,
Sure.
so twice. But I love this one better than the flute. Shh.
Hmm.
So I think rather than me talk about it, I think Erik, if you could talk anything about the feeling of a piece or about the piece, would you start right now?
Absolutely, yes, Toshi. Well, it's that makes two of us because this is my first time
Hmm.
performing this piece with orchestra, so I'm very excited. Of course, this piece is incredibly, famous among oboe players. It's one of the most important concertos in our repertoire, and it's at least the beginning of which, the exposition of the first movement, is something every oboist knows,
Hmm.
practices, learns inside out. We play it from, as early as we can until the day we die, probably. but it's a fantastic piece. I mean, it's kind of written in his middle period, I think, 1777. So it
Yeah.
actually, you mentioned the flute concerto, so this piece, it has a fascinating history. We know it's written around 1777 because we have some existing letters from his father, Leopold Mozart, that he sent to his son. I think it's something to do with like applying for a position. So he said, "Oh, you should bring your oboe concerto. It's a nice piece, so you can show this as part of your part of his portfolio, so to speak." So, but the original score, the original autograph, does not exist anymore. It's lost. But the original flute autograph still exists. So the original in his handwriting, the flute version still exists. So we know it's the same piece, but the flute version is in D major, and the oboe version is in C major. And so when we have kind of other clues to decipher whether or not, which one, like, because for a long time there was a debate, which one is the first one, right? Is it the
Yeah.
flute or the oboe? But there's other clues we have, like in the bottom open string of a violin is a G, right? A low G.
Yeah.
And so in the flute version, the strings, actually the violins never play below an A in the
Oh, that's
accompaniment.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of a clue we have, like, why, like, why wouldn't he use, I mean, not that he would necessarily use it, but it's
Yeah.
just another indication. So scholars mostly agree now that it's written for oboe originally, and then the other story is that he was commissioned three flute concertos. The first one
Yeah.
he wrote in 1778, so after the oboe concerto, and then then he copied the oboe concerto, and then he never got around to the third one. so, so there's only
That's a
two
likely
flute.
story for
Yeah,
most people to do that. Yeah.
yes. So there's only
So
two flute concertos.
there are other concertos for oboes, like Strauss and all those. But in terms of difficulty of playing this, most both emotionally and technically, can you elaborate that?
Sure, of course. Well, if you ask violin players, I think they will tell you a very similar thing, that Mozart is, in a lot of ways, the hardest to
Yes.
perform because it's extremely delicate.
Yeah.
So there's, it's the style is so simple,
Hmm.
but but there's so many details, so many little phrases, and it's there's so much that can go wrong because it's so simple,
Mm.
in a way, which is really really very interesting. And yeah, for oboe, oboe is notoriously a kind of difficult instrument, so that makes it no small feat for us to do, to play concerto. But fascinatingly enough, this was not always the case. Back in Mozart's time, actually, oboe players were kind of famous. They were soloists, and there was many of them. Unlike today, where oboe is kind of a rare instrument. So, yeah, the composer I was researching, the oboist that Mozart wrote this piece for, Giuseppe Ferlendis, I think it was. Apparently, he was an oboist, and his brother was an oboist, and he had 3 nephews that were oboists, and there's just so many oboists. It's kind of amazing. So I hope to kind of channel that, 1700s oboe spirit, of actually being a soloist in front of orchestra, and not our usual place, which I adore very much in the orchestra, as in the section, which is where I feel the most comfortable. But I'm really excited to kind of take it to this new kind of space for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let's talk about life outside of ECSO. You're quite busy. I know that. Can you elaborate what you're doing right now, and maybe about the future?
Yes, of course. So I have been co-principal oboe at the United States Coast Guard Band right here in New London, Connecticut. And I'm also, of course, principal oboe of the Eastern Connecticut Symphony, and I'm also principal oboe of the Hartford Symphony Orchestra as of this year. So yes, this year has been unprecedentedly busy, I might say. So it's been exciting, and I'm very, very grateful to be playing in all these great ensembles with great musicians. So the future is also very exciting. I've just won a position.
Tell us,
Yeah, sure. I won a position with the Detroit Symphony. So I'll be probably moving there sometime this summer. So
but for the audience, Detroit Symphony is one of the top major orchestra. So that's incredible. But I'm crying.
Thank you. Yeah,
well, we promise we're not going to get into that yet. So. But this will be a great chance to listen to Erik, really. And I'm just hoping we have a lot of oboe fans, and you will create a lot of oboe fans after this performance as well,
I hope so, yes.
Would you like to mention about your wife also? It'd be great to hear.
Of course, yes. My wife is she's also a member of the orchestra, in Eastern Connecticut. So she also plays in the Hartford Symphony as well. So we kind of work a lot together, which is really fun. I really like it. And another fun fact is that she's a fantastic violinist, of course, very much more talented than me. But fun fact is that she can also play oboe.
Yeah, I had a privilege working with her with Connecticut Symphony Orchestra, where she played a principal oboe there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, she's actually a very, very good oboe player as well, which is incredible. She started in college learning how to play oboe for fun, just because she liked it. So that's really amazing. And it's fantastic.
Do you play any other instruments?
I am kind of a one-trick pony. I play oboe, and I can play a little bit of English horn, but oboe is where I mostly I can make a sound on most instruments, but
like me, yeah. Well, talking to oboists, I must ask about the reed.
Yes.
The life of reed, and that those audience who might not know, reed is the one making sound, buzzings, and then that gets into the instrument, and that the oboe is a double reed. Can you talk about it and how you spend so much time making reeds?
Sure. You mentioned the life of a reed, and the life of a reed is unfortunately very short. So I'm at my reed desk. Fortunately here, so I have many of them, but this is probably not going to look very good, but this is like an oboe reed. It's a very small tube. It has a little cork and a thread and a piece of wood, but underneath is a metal tube. So it's basically it's actually a single piece of wood that is folded over.
I see.
It looks like this, kind of a gouged piece of wood that is shaped, kind of folded and shaped into a very specific kind of shape, so that it can close properly around the tube. And it's basically an extension of the what we call the bore of the instrument, which is the inside the inside shape of the oboe, which is actually what makes the
it's amazing.
Most of the sound.
I wonder you could buzz the oboe reed right now.
Sure, I can. Let me just make it. It has to be a little bit wet, otherwise it's so thin that it would crack. So I'm just gonna
a
little bit wet here, but on its own, it kind of sounds like a little dry, but yeah.
That gets attached to the oboe, and then you make so wonderful heavenly.
Yes, it sounds very different.
Amazing thing. Well, Erik, thank you so much for being here, and we are looking so much forward to perform together. And
likewise, yes.
Expecting a lot of audience to be there for this concert, and we are just going to have a good time.
I can't wait. It's going to be.
And we have to do sushi again too.
Yes, we do. That's right. Yes.
Perhaps after the concert.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.